Hey, I'm Austin with a Squared Circle Shoot, and last night's Raw was something else. We got Triple H opening the show, announcing Brock Lesnar as a free agent, Rhea Ripley going to Raw, Theory to SmackDown, Seth Rollins to Raw, potential new heavyweight champion right there, and Charlotte Flair to SmackDown. Then, Paul Heyman comes out, he calls out the Usos' loss, hints the new title on Roman Reigns, but obviously that can't happen as it's exclusive to Raw, and the entire bloodline is now on SmackDown. He then hints at Rollins becoming the next heavyweight champion and makes fun of him a little bit, which Rollins comes out, threatens Paul Heyman, and then Solo comes out to protect him, setting up the match at the end of the night, Rollins versus Solo. Then there's a match between Bayley and Dakota Kai versus Liv and Raquel Rodriguez. Nothing really to talk about. It was an alright match. Kind of a snooze fest, but Damage Control win to send them off to SmackDown, which is an interesting one considering they won against the tag team champions. And Booker T and Sharmell come out to announce that Raw takes Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, SmackDown gets the Usos, and Judgment Day goes to Raw, Latino World Order goes to SmackDown, splitting up the Mysterios. Then we got a match between Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus the Alpha Academy, which we've seen a lot of both of these in recent times, where Ricochet and Gale look very good. Braun crossbodies Otis, which is insane, and then body slams him. That basically ends the match. It was pretty quick, but all in all, it was a decent match, to say the least. And I think that Alpha Academy needs to catch a W at some point, because both Otis and Chad Gable are very good in the ring, at least at driving a crowd. Then Shawn Michaels and Adam Pearce come out to announce more drops, but get interrupted by Brock Lesnar, who says he's the only cowboy in Texas. Then 20-odd security guards come out, hinting at a Cody Rhodes moment for Brock Lesnar. Then Cody comes out and attacks Brock from behind, only to be swarmed by security to prevent any further attacking. Going back to Shawn Michaels now, Raw chooses Liv and Raquel Rodriguez, and SmackDown takes Asuka. Raw takes the New Day, and SmackDown takes the Brawling Brutes. This goes into a match of Riddle versus Jimmy Uso, where backstage, Riddle mentions that he, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn are all going to be on Raw together so they can hang out, and Kevin is not happy about it. He also jokes about getting drafted to SmackDown to avoid Riddle. The match starts, and there's an immediate interference by Jey Uso, which is to be expected. But then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn pull off an Eddie Guerrero type stunt and pretend that they get hit by a steel chair to get Jey tossed out of the match. The match isn't really too much to talk about, but Jimmy goes to take off one of the turnbuckles, where Sami then distracts the ref, and Kevin plants Jimmy's head into it for Riddle to win. It was an alright match, it just wasn't really much to talk about. Then there's a backstage segment between Solo and Jey, where Jey's angry about how Solo wasn't there for that match, and then there's more heat building inside of the bloodline, where they're both now on the same brand. Then Eric Bischoff and Rob Van Dam come out for the next set of drafts, where Rob Van Dam makes fun of the fact that he read the card upside down the week before. Trish Stratus goes to Raw, Karrion Kross goes to SmackDown, Raw takes Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, and LA Knight goes to SmackDown. Splitting up Karrion Kross and Shinsuke Nakamura is an interesting thing there, because I thought they had something going on here. He gets jumped backstage and now they're on separate brands. I don't know. Then there's a Miz TV segment where he introduces Shinsuke Nakamura, and Miz uses this to talk himself up, and Nakamura uses his language to his advantage to mock the Miz and then knocks him out. Then there's a match between Omos and Alanis, where it's an immediate squash match with absolutely no reaction from the crowd because nobody really cares. It's just another giant that's getting pushed because he's a giant. That's followed by Molly Holly and Road Dogg for the next draft picks, where they announce that Braun and Ricochet are going to Raw, SmackDown takes Shotzi, Bronson Reed goes to Raw, and SmackDown takes Pretty Deadly from NXT. Then the Judgment Day come out. They call out all of their future opponents. The crowd don't let Dominic talk. Then Ray comes out with the Latino World Order and says that the Judgment Day will lose. Then it goes into the Latino World Order and Judgment Day match, and it's a pretty good match. Everybody looks great. Rhea Ripley was rolling with the guys. Priest wins the match by picking up Ray over the top rope and then choke slamming him to win the match. And there's a backstage segment with Cody Rhodes where he put some suspense on his match at Backlash, followed by a backstage segment with Bianca Belair where she gets interrupted by Damage Control, just building tension for their match at Backlash. Then JBL and Teddy Long are back to announce some more drafts where Alpha Academy go to Raw, Rick Boogs goes to SmackDown, Katana Chance and Caden Carter from NXT go to Raw, and Cameron Grimes goes to SmackDown. This is immediately followed by the main event, which is Solo Sikoa and Seth Rollins, where Seth uses the crowd as mind games on Solo. Seth has a huge lead, he's looking really good, and then he uses a no-no word that makes Solo pretty mad. And as Seth's about to win, the Usos come out, and then obviously Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Riddle have to come out to even it out, and then there's a big brawl to end the show. This match was alright. Seth Rollins was looking very good, making Solo almost look like a pushover, but it didn't for the most part, as he was able to come back there after it all and basically throw him around a little bit. But it's all in all a very good show. Last night's Raw, like many, had a lot of ups and downs with certain segments, but it was better than most of the Raws we've seen in the last little bit. And honestly, if the trend of exceedingly better and better and better, especially with the new rosters, is going to happen, then I hope to only see better going forward. There's not much else for me to say, but that's been my Squared Circle Shoot. So if you liked it, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, bye-bye.